Hello, King's Court. Today we are here with your National Dex power rankings for both our Island Cabana and Pirate Cove divisions. Joining me, Kyrogeniz, today is our good friend Nave. Say hello.
¿Qué pasó, Nue?
Alright, and we're going to see exactly how these teams shook out after the draft in a little week 0 and even bits of free agency. Not too many. These are week 1 going into it, so if a change was made today, we probably didn't catch it, but otherwise, should be up to date.
Yes, sir.
Alright, what are we kicking off with, Nave?
We are kicking off with none other than the Chicago Chimchars. You and I talked, kind of at length about this. There's some really strong firepower on the strong. I mean, you've got Mega Delphox on your roster. You've got Roaring Moon. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It starts falling apart kind of quickly, unfortunately. As we know, no terrain for Melmetal to take advantage of, which is not great. Despite having 2 Levitate Mons, your ground profile is still really, really bad. You've got a couple, you've got Jonathan Fan and you've got Glamora for spinning, so, you've got some pieces lined up here that are pretty solid, but lot to be desired, I think, overall.
Yeah, I concur. I think the whole Melmetal no terrain thing is what's getting me so badly, because, we have a really strong physical breaking duo with Urshifu and Roaring Moon, and we have Delphox and Melmetal. Melmetal is so hard to switch into. After playing the PGP Tour, this mon is the demon, but it's these bottom pieces that kind of lose it for me. I'm not a big Primarina guy, but I can see its value. But then we have Glamora and Galvantula and Rotom Fan. This Rotom Fan mon should probably never be rostered, I'll be frank.
I mean, I'm always a proponent of having a Rotom on your squad if you can make it work, but I think Rotom Fan is by far the least valuable out of all of those. I just don't think you're getting... Yeah, I think he's low-key a bum.
He's a fridge, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why we have 2 electric types in, the bottom 2 slots. I feel like whatever Rotom's doing for you, and whatever Galvantula is doing, for whatever reason, they're just not really fulfilling much for me.
And frankly, I don't see the Sticky Web vision as much, because NATDEX is so much defog. I think it's just worse as it is. And we don't have, a premier blocker of just spin or defog. So,
no.
There's no Defiant of using either. It just feels like it's a bit shoehorned together. There's some offensive pieces, but there's no real synergy between them besides the Delphox and the Roaring Moon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think if a couple roster shift shuffles around the bottom end of this team, it could be a lot better. Especially if we get some train in there, even if it's not a taboo. I mean, Bulu should still be up, but I'm not sure about the other ones.
I think this team could benefit from just a ghost type in general.
It could. I don't think it needs it because that's Roaring Moon, but it could help.
Yeah. I don't, yeah, it doesn't necessarily need it, but I think that would just be a random suggestion. Swap out Galvantula for just a nice cheap ghost type or something like that.
Okay, and with that in mind, let's jump up to our next one, who is the Sleepy Snorlax. And honestly, I am a big fan of this team. I think there's a lot of really good pieces here, such as the Scizor with the Kyurem and the Aloe and the Ogerpon. I think this offensive core is great. We drafted Coco first pick, and we don't have any synergy for it, which kind of seems wrong to me. I was looking through some of these movesets, and I don't see the vision here. I don't think anything's gonna get Rain Pulse. I don't see, obviously, a Quark Drive user. I don't see a Rising Voltage user. What is the Coco synergy, Unless Victini gets it and I just missed it somehow, but I just don't think that's even a good enough con for it.
No. Yeah, I think the synergies for Coco are big. This was just a big miss, in my opinion. I think Coco on its own is still really good, but it's not good enough to warrant having without, like you said, a Quark Drive Mon or, something that benefits from terrain. The other thing that bothers me is, while our offensive profile is still really, really good, and I love Mega Scizor. I think that's one of the better Megamons on the board.
Absolutely.
Our fire defensive profile is really suspect outside of Alomomola. So and like our defensive profile as a whole is really, really dependent on this. Yeah, it's really dependent on this fish to really kind of shore up a lot of weaknesses, which is one of my biggest gripes with it. I also just, if you're gonna have a mon that you're bringing every week that has a quad weakness, you cannot have another mon on your roster that shares the same quad weakness with Frostmoth.
I don't know what the vision was of Frostmoth here.
No,
I do like
I don't see it.
I think Galade's
I think Galade's great.
I think
Galade's great.
For like a core trap user and get Frostmoth out of there for something else. And it'll probably be fine. I think this is really close to being what we've coveted, we've classified as Jeremy Slop in KC, which is 2 fat guys and some crazy chungus blasters. We have one certified chunk fat guy, right? We need another one.
We have the chunk fat guy.
We just need one more fat guy, and this is certified Jeremy Slop. And I think that's why I like it so much, because it's so close. It's so close. It's very close.
It's just like it's. And like Victini on its own is still really good. It's just I think you can optimize that slot, get rid of Frostmoth, and you have a really, really strong team as a whole. But like there's very specific things that are just massive red flags to me.
But
that's really all I have. Like it's like the offensive profile is terrifying. So I mean, if you're just clicking moves and people's heads are exploding, hey, more power to you. Moving on to our number 10 spot, Tropical Blissey. Absolute W team name, by the way.
It is.
W logo. Shout out to Tropical Blissey. Your top 3, I like a lot. Darkrai, very, very strong. I love Mew and its flexibility. Celesteela, good flexibility. Mega Lopunny is very, very good. I'm not quite sure what the Raichu X vision is in this specific team.
My thought process is like, if I'm just spitballing here, I have no idea what they're thinking. But maybe it's just like, yeah, this guy's a really strong offensive electric type. Pair up Mega Quavel. Which, you know, sounds great. I'm not sure I like it that much because there's, again, no electric terrain synergy. It's probably not necessary on a 6-point guy versus your 19-point guy. But, I also don't really care for the Quavel at all in this roster. I think we have some very suspect spinners that really aren't, or either overlapping with our offensive profile or just bad mons. Shout out Bramblecast.
That mount's a good mon, I promise you.
And I generally don't like subscribe to the Grass, Fire, Water Core, even though it is good. But if we're making our Grass, Fire, Water Core Incineroar, Brambleghast, and Quavel, I don't think it's worth having, personally. Positively, though, I do love this top half. I think these top 5 guys up top are a great core, and I can accept the Raichu for what it is. But I think we need a little bit more retooling here.
Yeah, I think there's a couple spots that, you know, the Quavel, if you swapped out Brambleghast for, you know, something else, maybe just another fat guy. Like, I don't think having another fat guy on here is really a problem. I think you can justify that. You've got some mons that aren't like Quavel, Brambleghast, Incineroar. They're all kind of like not crazy fast, not crazy strong on their own. Like they require a lot of setup. They require a lot to kind of really get going. And with the core, like you said, at the top half, I don't think you need to be putting that much effort into letting those slots shine. I think they can be better utilized. Also, shout out Lopunny. I think Lopunny on this team's actually very, very strong.
I agree. I mean, I like it. I like the squad. It's like you said, the fire type is going to blow our head off, guys. Our Quavels are switching, and so is Incineroar. I'm not a fan of either of those guys as my defensive answer. But we can move on to our next one, which is the Maritime Mantines. Yes. The Mega Dragalge team, who I am a huge believer in. This mon's going to be really, really annoying to break, if nothing else. I like the Meowscarada as a mon in general, like most people do. Big shocker, I know. But Meowscarada, Gliscor, Scizor, Dragalge, and Latios, I think is really hard to break through. It's these bottom pieces that I'm not a big fan of. Like, Flow at Eternal, I can understand to an extent, because we want to, check off that. We got a fairy type. But
Yep, we have a fairy type.
this
Awesome.
Arcanine Belly Bolt Manaphy are kind of like I could subscribe to a Belly Bolt as a defensive guy because it's good. Arcanine has no business being on this team, in my opinion. We can get a different kind of blaster, because Galaxy should be our main ground weakness that we don't want to worry about. And he doesn't really... I mean, he does help our ice matchup to an extent, but we don't have, like, a really good guy to help our ice matchup besides Scizor. And I guess Manaphy, but, like, I don't want to have to rely on Manaphy to come every time I have, like, a really bad Gliscor matchup. Because, like, think about Iron Bundles, think about the Curums in the universe, like... Even Darm's gonna start blowing Manaphy's head off with enough switches.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big fan of that as my defensive water type, if we're gonna have one at all.
No, I think there's... I could see the Arcanine as, like, if you're just saying, oh, we're gonna be switching this thing in to fire moves for Scizor. It's like, okay, I guess. It just feels... Yeah, there's Dragalge. Yeah, there's, like... You have the options already, so like it's not really fulfilling that. It doesn't need to fulfill that role, I guess, is more what I'm getting at. It feels like we just have there's like, yes, on paper certain boxes have been checked, but it's like round peg square hole kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where yes, it is going to do the job to an extent, but there's way better options out there than Arcanine or Manaphy. I just think Manaphy's cute.
Manaphy's
on
okay.
this team.
I could accept Manaphy more than I can accept the Arcanine. I think the Arcanine's kind of wasted. It's just like the last team, in my opinion, where it's like we checked off our Firewater Grass core without really like considering, hey, these mons aren't that actually great on this team. I need.
Yeah. Getting into the specifics of it, I think if you just move the Arcanine for another potential fire type, maybe something that has a little bit more offensive juice, then I can see it. But
I mean, offensive juice is not what I'm worried about with this team. I think the role of offense is very easily covered by like an offensive Gliscor, and Scizor, and Latios, and Yaskarada. I think it's plenty enough offense. I think it could be, if you're gonna go a fire type, it could either be like a nice special blaster that helps give you a little bit more breaking power in that regards, or it could be like a defensive fire guy.
Yeah, I see the vision. I see that.
And our only rockers are Gliscor and Arcanine, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's also an issue. I mean, you get spikes on Meow, I think. Smile.
Yeah, we do, but rocks are better, but yes, I hear you.
Rocks are much better. Yeah, it's, like I said, the boxes are checked. I think you can just optimize them a touch more. And I think you'd be in really good shape. Moving on, number 8, Volbeef. We are just cosplaying an SV team, I fear.
But we slapped Blastoise on there.
Yeah, we just gave Blastoise a Mega Stone, and this is just an SV team. So I'll let you talk first about this, because my worries are... I mean, mine are pretty straightforward. And I think the offense is really, really good. It's just our only hazard removal is on our Mega that can't bring boots, and if you have a Ghost type, well, GG, we can't spin now.
Yeah, I do like the whole war going on here at the top 6. I think Mega Blastoise with Rillaboom is much similar to Coco with Mega Blastoise. You just blow up the type that resists you, which I believe is great. Those bulky waters will not stand a chance. I don't care for this Arcanine. Again, it feels like another one of those, hey, we need a fire type. Check off our Fire, Water, Grass core. And it's just an Arcanine. Like, we don't have an egregious fire weakness. We have Tinglu, who can eat almost every fire attack known to man. And Blastoise is very bulky. You can do it himself as well. Hoopa, I get for breaking power, but we're already not the greatest team ever into punishing U-turn. I probably would not have it on this squad. Because, like, Rillaboom gets U-turned on, Tinglu doesn't like eating it. Sneasel are just too frail. Valiant can eat U-turns, I suppose, but usually that mon's kind of reserved. Like, preserved his HP so it can survive, like, one super effective hit if it needs to. And like
Yeah.
obviously Golden Goat can, but then Golden Goat's gonna be vulnerable because it's not like it's like the fastest guy ever, right? So
Right.
I don't like those 2 slots. I think the rest of it is very good. I even like the Vikavolt because we do have that guy that just beats Defog and Rapid Spin for fun. So the webs I can get behind. It's just, especially with Blastoise who can't Shell Smash, like it's a pretty great setup for that. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think the Arcanine is it's kind of the same thing, like you said. You're just checking off fire type box, and Hoopa just outside without Terra. I see the idea of having breaking power, but I think there's definitely better options out there that are way less susceptible to getting you turned on.
The Draft League player disease U-turn.
Yeah. And you got Rillaboom Sneasler. You're already in good shape. You've got a great spin blocker. You've got, absolute fat Chud and Tinglu. Like this, the team is just one really optimized piece away, like, from just being really, really scary.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a believer in Sneasler Rillaboom. That's me. I think in draft it's much worse than anywhere else, but there's enough supporting pieces that get the idea behind it. But I think this team is very close to being good again. Like, much like most of these teams are not like, I think they're bad and they can't really be saved without like retooling the whole thing. They're usually like only a few pieces away that need to be like fine-tuned with what's left.
Yes. Yeah, it's just a touch of optimization. That's kind of conversation we were having, is a lot of these teams are just all very close together. It's just some pieces are more optimized than others.
Well, we'll jump into our next one at that rate, and that would be Palatown Mafia. And you really liked this team compared to me. I think it's kind of buns, but I'll let you talk about the positives first.
Yeah, so I mean, you've got Zerora, who on any given week is realistically going to be the fastest mon on the field, which is huge. And you've got the Palafin combo. I think just the 1-2 punch there is very, very potent. Palafin gets a little bit more bulky, and Zerora will man down the speed control. You've got some absolute fat MFs on this team with the Glow King and the Ferrothorn, so that's very nice. Moltres, yeah. There's a lot of good pieces. Lando T, we haven't even mentioned Lando T. That's just a nice little Intim piece. You've got great hazard control. You have great hazard setup, rather. Any single switch can get punished if played properly, and I think you've got the right 2 offensive pieces with the Zerora and the Palafin that either one of those can be your win condition fairly easily.
Yeah, I see the vision with the team, right? Like, I like this top 4. I like the Mega T-Tar a lot, actually. I think Moltres is solid here. Ferrothorn's fine. I can accept it. I just don't like that we have Mega Excadrill. Like, are we ever gonna Mega it, is my question, because there's no reason to. So we just had to spend an extra 3 points on Excadrill to not get in the item slot. Because if we ever Mega, we just lose our speed boost, which is terrible. And
yeah, it's not ideal.
Speaking of terrible, this Houndstone guy is so fake. Like, this guy should be anything else. Like, he's not a good spin blocker. He's not that offensively threatening. Fluffy's cute, but we already have a 4x Fire Week guy and a second Steel type. Like, do we really want Fluffy on this team? I don't see the vision with it.
Yeah.
If this team had like regular Excadrill and like a different secondary Mega, I would be really happy with the squad. But it kind of just feels like we got stuck with scraps and just threw in a Sandcore for fun.
Yeah, I see the vision with Excadrill. I mean, I know you're paying like a premium tax just to get. It's not even Excadrill. We have Excadrill at home.
No, literally, it is.
It's a weird variant of that. So you, like you said, you don't have your item slot, which isn't ideal. So if you're not, if you're bringing it in a week and you're not megaing it, you lose a lot of flexibility, which isn't great. But I see the vision as like a very slow-paced, chip you down, control the weather with T-Tar and Glow King to an extent. I understand the Houndstone. It's not like, but it's like a 2 or 3 point mod. I'm not losing too much sleep over that.
I am.
This dog is keeping him up at night.
It is. Why are you
And-
here, Houndstone?
Yeah. Well, now we're getting
It's just like,
closer to the
sorry.
closer
It's
to
like
the cream. No, you're good.
it's like so close to being like a really nice, competent team, in my opinion, that we just Jamark slopped it. Like we have Jeremy slop, and this is the Jamark slop. You know what I mean? Like this is
Absolutely.
where we are. KC has
Yeah,
a lot of lore. We have a lot of slop teams. I'm sure you'll hear about more of them as we get further in, but we can move on now.
Absolutely. We're getting to the top half here. We're starting to now get to the teams that we're really feeling good about. Number 6, Mount Pyre Mythics. Very good balanced squad. I like the Mega Diancie. This thing is going to blow at least 2 people's heads off every single match that it comes in on.
Oh yeah.
You got Buzzwole to blow even more heads off. Like, you've just got some crazy firepower on this roster. And you've got a nice little regenerator core going on, both fast and slow. I don't know what the tree is doing.
Big Trev.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's there.
He's there. You know.
He's there for sure.
I like this team a lot. I think the Diancie is a very powerful mega that people just don't like picking up for some reason because it's a 4x like steel weakness and oh, it's gonna die really quickly. Yeah, it is, but it's gonna do everything you want it to first. That's fine. Especially if you have an H-Wish in this team, which we don't, I don't believe. It would be
Think so, no.
really awesome. And Zapdos Cinderace is a tried and true Volt Turn core. And I like the Kingambit Nidoking. Buzzwole is a Beastmon. You start to lose me with the bottom half. Slowking is just a good defensive water type. The pivots in are Cinderace, which is cool, and our Diancie, which is cool. Cyclezar is Cyclezar. You know how that goes. And Big Trev's kind of
in the
weird.
back, man.
Like, our resistances to ground are Buzzwole, who's a very good one, to be fair.
Yes.
And, Zapdos, which is, again, very good one. But we're sporting some pretty nasty ground weaknesses. Kind of, like, Scarf EQs scare me a little bit. Like, if Zapdos ever gets too low and they, like, just Stone Edge it, or they Stone Edge it, like, I'm very concerned about Scarf EQ. But
yeah.
It's like a minor complaint, like, how much can you really retool out of this roster? I don't know. I think it's fine.
Yeah, there's not a lot. I mean, you've got just the 2 regenerators are like a big piece of your, like, you just have a ton of pivoting on this squad.
Oh,
which
and
is
actually,
awesome.
this team did change, by the way. I'm looking at it live. So, Nidoking, Kingambit, Slowking, and Big Trev were gone for Zygarde 50, Empoleon, Roserade, and Muckalola. I liked the Kingambit a lot.
I liked the Kingambit too.
I also like the Nidoking.
Yeah.
I do like Zygarde a lot on this team. I think it's very powerful. Empoleon's such... dude. It has Defog at least, I guess. You really lose me, though, with the changes. I probably wouldn't do the ranking on it, because we're still having some of the similar issues, in my opinion. Like, we have Roserade and Muckalola. We added another ground weakness and took away, like... I don't know.
Yeah, you just have 2... Yeah, you have 2 grounded... You now have 2 grounded poison. One of them is not particularly good at taking EQs, even though it has the grass, so it's neutral, but it still doesn't want to eat Earthquake at all. And then you said Muckalola,
yeah.
Yeah, I think we just kind of took our typings and just kind of jumbled them up and threw them back out in like a different way.
The dragon is nice to have. I will say that. The dragon ground is very nice. Because our ground type was Nidoking, and I think Zygarde is an upgrade over that one. But
absolutely. But
I probably wouldn't move it that much considering that.
No, definitely not. I think there's still it has just different issues now. It's not necessarily a quantity thing. Anyway,
up next,
number 5,
we got Pacific Log Polarafts. You know how hard that name is to say? How long it took me to rehearse that last season? We got there, though.
Yeah, we got there eventually.
We did. Nihilego is finally here, and I love that guy. It's like Lamora, but better on every regard. Shout out Nihilego.
Yes.
It really is well supported on this team with the Togekiss, with the Slitherwing, with the Mesprit. I like it a lot. I think this team has a really strong breaking core with Guiding Fire, Ogerpon, and Greninja, of course. So Greninja's not really a sweeper as a Mega. And Nehulego's a very strong breaker, and unfortunately, it's our best Scarfer, which is my biggest gripe with this team, is that our best Scarfer is like a 102 speed tier, maybe 108. I can't remember which one it is.
It's not. It's above 100, but it's
not above
it
110.
It doesn't break 110. Yeah.
And we're not, guys. Don't tell me Jolteon's on the team.
Why is this? Why is that dog here? What's the dog doing?
That guy ain't supposed to be here. We can get a real guy.
Yeah, we can get a real Scarfer, I'm sure. Yeah, like you said, you have Mega Greninja, which is just this mon I think is going to be really, really hard to deal with on a week-to-week basis for a lot of teams. Iron Treads, a great, ground steel spinner, does so much for this team. The Nihilego, I love that thing. That's another one that will just get out of hand very quickly if you're not careful. Yeah, there's just so much on this team that can just get absolutely crazy very quick. I do just think you need a better Scarfer than Jolteon, and you're in a really good spot.
I mean, Slithwing's, again, not a bad Scarfer. Mesprit's are not a bad Scarfer, but, our 110 plus tier is so item locked. It's not even funny. It's not the biggest gripe with this team. If we just have one guy, I think it'd be beautiful. Mwah, chef's kiss. It's great still overall.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is definitely one that's going to be week to week very hard to prep, because you do have 8.5 mons that could realistically come any given week.
Generous just gave him that half.
I mean, he's there. He exists.
Hopefully not for long.
Possibly not for long. We will see. In the meantime, number 4, Magic Guard. We've got the Mega Clefable. I'm a big fan of these, these the Magic Bounce Megas, as you'll see later. But lots of things to say about this team that I think is really, really good. Great Tusk, Thorn, D-Speed, Metagross, top 6, just mwah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I like the Toxapex. It's just like a bulky water type, and also your grounded poison. So again, checking lots of boxes. I personally think Umbreon pretty fine. I don't know about the Dracozolt though.
Dracozolt's here for the Raichu matchup. That's kind of the idea behind it, because this team cannot handle Raichu, except for getting Deoxys to kill it with Psycho Boost or something. Is my imagination behind it, Meteor Beam. Otherwise, that guy is running our pockets crazy style.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm okay with it. They're a bit gadgety in the bottom slot, and I'm not a big fan of Toxapex here. I think it's checking the I need a grounded poison and the bulky water at the same time. But it'll do that. It will do that. It's better than who shall not be named. I think this team is really strong. Even despite cards saying, I'm going to take Mega Clefable, and no matter what, basically. I think this team has been great, despite the shackles. I think it's a good mon. I won't say it's a bad mon, but it's certainly not a Mega I would build my entire draft around getting, which is kind of what he did. But it still is a really good team. I can't take that away.
Yeah, he still did. I mean, even if you got the right answer, but got there the wrong way, kind of thing.
You may have got that the only way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way is through Clefable.
I can get behind this team. I think it's solid.
Yeah, and I think there's just so many good things here. I can't really harp on it really in any way. I think
position too. This guy has Magic Bounce, 2 of the best hazard mover guys. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful world we live in if we're Ogerpon Hearthflame.
Absolutely. Yeah, that Ogerpon's gonna be having a great old time this season. We're getting into the top 25% here now. Number 3, Psyduck Psychosis. Well, the offensive power of this team is nutty.
Oh yeah. I mean, how do we switch into Mega Frostlass as it is? Like, then you put an Urshifu Rapid Strike. I believe that's Rapid Strike. Is that Rapid Strike? That looks like Rapid Strike Curl Paw. I'm pretty sure it is. And we have Baxcalibur to abuse the Snow Boost and the Aurora Veil. It is such a beautiful chunkus day drawing this team as a sweeper. Iron Moth's great to be a fairy killer for us because we don't really have one of those for our Urshifu Baxcalibur. And Tropicos is, Tropicos. He's the beast. He's the beast of all beasts.
He is the ultimate glue for this team.
And we have 2 steel types, which I kind of mess with because one of them is actually defensive steel type in Corviknight, and the other one's just one of the best pursuit trappers you can get at that budget, which I can get behind. And our ground type, Swampert's a goat. I just think we have a bit of a problem with dragon matchups. This is just Corviknight. A lot of dragons can pack coverage to kill that guy, but between Aurora Veil and Tropicos existing, I think we'll be fine.
And you got Slurpuff. You got that little guy that's just. If you see that thing showing up on a random week, you know you're in for absolute chaos. Like, that thing can just do so much random stuff.
It can. That's the biggest threat about it, I suppose. That it can do literally anything. It's like a Mew, but for a really, really, really terrible budget and stats.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
We have Mew at home.
It's more like Mew before it even left the factory.
Yeah.
It's stage 1.
Yeah,
but
the point 1 Mew. Yes.
You can't really disrespect the power of this team. I think there's a lot to love, and changing things around would be kind of redundant because it is pretty great.
Yeah.
But with that, let's see what is better, at least in our opinions. We have the big Appletons up here at number 2, and Mega Skarmory and Mega Raichu Y are a beastly combo. I think these are the 2 best new Megas that came out. Next to maybe Mega Dragougi, who's going to be a nuisance to deal with. These guys are on the opposite spectrum of they will blow your head off. And Skarmory is a perfect pairing because it doesn't need a Mega. It could just be Skarmory without an item. That's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination.
Nah.
And Garchomp Weavile is a very reliable core. You just break very comfortably for each other. The biggest struggle they have is fairy types, but guess what? You have Raichu and Skarmory. That's awesome. Our hazard game is great between Skarmory and Rotom. Like, Screamtail is... Ooh, I love Screamtail. That guy's great. Screamtail and Rotom can wall almost the whole metagame. We have Volcarona there if we really need a lot of shaping power. I think this team has a lot of good value in its bottom 3 pieces. And the top 6 are just beautiful. You can run the top 6 every week, and I'd be very happy if I was that team. Because it would just do so much work.
Yeah, and like you said, all 6 at the top you could just bring, and you're fine. The bottom 3 each kind of have like their niche kind of carved out for them on a week-to-week basis. Drapion is like a really nice grounded poison and also a dark type. Volcarona is just an absolute, is always kind of going to be a threat on a week-to-week basis. And, Eldegoss also does quite a decent amount as well. It just brings so much kind of utility to this team that already has a really healthy amount.
Mm-hmm.
And just like you said, the breaking power Garchomp, Weavile.
We need to ignore the Garchomp Weavile, man. We just got Raichu, man. That thing is disgustingly strong at breaking.
That thing is a ballistic missile waiting
It's gonna get in so easily too with this team between Rotom and Screamtail. Like, how do you not get this guy in? Like,
it would be you'd really have to screw up your positioning.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe we can just be Lagging Tail Baton Pass if we really wanted to, right? Like, this is... Raichu's gonna do a lot of work this season. Now, I really want to put this in number 1, but Nave slightly outvoted me on our number 1, who, if you're keeping track, you know who it is. It's the Big Boss Meryl.
It's the Big Boss Meryl. Surprisingly enough, another kind of Jeremy Slop team.
This is like Jeremy Slop and Card Slop put together. This guy literally took like both of our PGP teams and said, "Yeah, I like that," and just put them together, which is fine. I think it's a good team. I won't like disrespect it super hard. We have the Hydreigon, Gallade, and Aegislash combo to kind of break for each other. We have a bundle to help break to those bulky water types, which is notoriously kind of difficult for them. And Lander's one of the best ground types in the format. We can't deny that. I personally am not a big Feeny guy. I think it's good. It has the value. I just think the idea of not being able to use status on my own team is kind of bad. because I need to bring my fairy type. Like, I can't use Toxic, which is one of the best moves in the format. I can't use the whole sub Age slash set for the most part. I can't use my status and Glade, because again, a Glade can be really good just wisping mons that come in to check it, or like Toxic mons that come in to check it. We can't do that if we have a Feeny. It's kind of really suspect to me in that regard. But again, it's obvious because your Glade can't get stats. Either you can just set up on them, and you won't get Skull Burned, you won't get T-Waved, you won't get Wisped. There's nothing really threatening you, which is it's double-edged sword. And the bottom half of the team I like a lot. I think it's very budget defensive core. Miltank's a beast. Rotom Heat is such a great value guy, and Arbok's probably the best 2-point like poison type you're gonna get.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Tapu. This was one of Tapu. The Finny's one of my favorite pieces. Just at kind of like what you said. You're denying the statusing, so that's kind of like that's a wrinkle that you're throwing into game planning, and you can just let Gallade or Aegislash just get absolutely out of control very quickly. And just a bulky water and a bulky fairy type at the same time. Whew. Whew. I love checking those boxes. That is just I wanted to draft this. I wanted to draft this on my team in the other league, but it unfortunately did not fall to me. But I'm a big believer in this Tapu here, and kind of like we already talked about the breaking power for between the Hydreigon and Aegislash, the Mega Gallade, which in my opinion is probably a top 3 Mega in the format.
Probably the best one in the format. I won't even sit here and cap it, man. I think it's so good. Yeah,
it's a freak of nature. And
literally, it can't break fairy psychic types. That's like the only thing it can't break. Everything else it will destroy.
And guess what? We have Aegislash.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has the right core of offensive pieces to help it.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in this one. And the Boss Meryl, I think, really put this one together pretty well.
You mean me and Cards put it together? He just pieces, right?
Yeah, just change your answers so they don't know I cheated off your paper.
Yeah,
kind of.
He just took both of our tests to kind of fuse it together. It's all good. But
yeah, it's all good.
That would be the Cabana. We're gonna move on to the Pirate Cove now. Hey guys, welcome back with the Pirate Cove portion of the video. Knowers know if I didn't edit this, but we're gonna jump right back into our rankings again. And our first team, off the bat, is the Silly Seals. It's kind of weird now that I'm thinking about it. We have Mega Delphox at the bottom of both of these. Is that mono fraud?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the biggest believer, and I think it's still good. But I think it was a little overhyped off rip. But the point of this team that I'm trying to think about is there's a lot to like in the beginning. Like the top 4 are great. But then we have a terrainless Sneasler. Like our best unburden's like normal gym or like sashing, like white herbing, which is not like bad, but if you're gonna draft the Sneasler, you're usually looking for the easy access. And it's just gonna be our dedicated Scarfer, it looks like, which is fine, I guess. And wow, our bottom 2 are just mons that we drafted.
Yeah, I mean, we drafted Iron Leaves without Terra, and we drafted Archeops.
Without Terra or Terrain, mind you. Neither one of them are here.
Yeah, we drafted Archeops.
I mean,
I
don't know what that guy does.
I don't know. I think if the thought process is a certain week, I'm just slapping a scarf on it. It's gonna blow up something and then just die. More power to you, I guess. I just think there's so many better things you can get with even at 2 points. Like there's a ton of value you can find on a NATDEX draft board.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think Archeops is it.
I'm also not a fan of. Sorry to cut you off a bit. This Aegislash Tickets combination, I'm not a big fan of. Like you don't really need them both. Like we can get a different fairy type that checks this box off. Ticketon's a little more expensive than some of the other options out there because it's Ticketon. We don't really need its power. Like the Ticketon Hammer is cute and all, but we have an Aegislash that can just click Iron Head and blow somebody's shit smooth off, respectfully. And I think our Delphox is not well positioned in this team. Now we have Tinglu for a great defensive piece, but how are we breaking Psychic type besides Aegislash, who's one of our main defensive pieces as well? You know what I mean? Like it feels like we have a lot on the plate of his Aegislash, and Tinkaton's not really relieving anything in any unique way that is helpful to it,
No.
except for specifically the Dragon matchup, which isn't really a problem because we have a Ting Lu who eats most Mons alive that you need it to, and a Rotom who also could just eat most Mons alive that it needs to. I think we kind of lost the plot on how to support Delphox just a little bit after our first 4.
Yeah, there's a lot to be desired. I think if you just if you kept the top 4 and just said, all right, how are we gonna fix the rest of this?
Like the little cube on the right side of the bottom right of the screen, I'm down to like switch that out. If you're willing to keep Sneasler for the speed tier, sure, I can respect that. But these Tinkaton, Archeops, leaves, someone's gotta move here.
Yeah, Cyclizar could stay. He's chill.
We don't really need his spinning, but he's a beast.
Yeah, he could stay if he wants to.
I'll never tell you to get rid of Cyclizar. That guy's awesome.
That guy is a beast. Very good fries in the bag individual. Moving on. Number 11, Moppy's Monsters. We have a really nice defensive backbone here. Mega Dragalge, which we've talked about at length. Very, very good Mega in the format. You've got the Palafin. You've got Great Tusk. You've got the Slowbro. So you've got a lot of, nice big chud pieces. And then you got double Serene Grace, which I'm watching you, Serene Grace abuser.
Go for Cloak.
Yeah. And then we kind of get to the bottom 3, which aren't bad on their own, but it feels like the team kind of ran into an identity crisis like 2/3 of the way through the draft. Like the Crobat and the Low Kicks and the Bisharp to a lesser extent, but it just doesn't. They don't feel like they have a place with the top 6. Like it's almost like two different. This is kind of like two different teams kind of came together, but like they just kind of got like smashed together instead of like taking like the better pieces from two different teams. It just kind of ended up being a hodgepodge mess.
Yeah, like Crobat's like, oh man, we forgot our speed tier, gotta pick something up fast. And Low Kicks is like, oh no, we don't have a dark type, gotta pick up one. It's like, oh god, my dark type's not defensive at all, let me pick up another one. Like, I can get behind the Bisharp again. Like I said last time, it's a good Pursuit Trapper. I don't think this team really needs to trap Psychic types or Ghost types. I think we're just finding them with our Palafin. But I will not be upset about having a Pursuit Trapper. The Low Kicks and the Crobat are very random here. I'm not a big believer in it. And again, we have 2 ground immunes. Crobat's fake. He's not real. We only have 1 ground immune for our big regenerator guy, which is not a big deal. I don't think you have like a super ground weak team. You can just run Air Balloon Jirachi if you're that worried, right? But
yeah,
I don't know. It definitely feels like an identity crisis. Like we got to play a slow, wear you down game, and like our 2 big breakers and our 3 big breakers in up top. Then we got these little chungus guys that just don't support or add anything really unique because we already have strong priority. Like we get the speed tier, like I said earlier, but it's not that great for what we're looking for, especially since we already have a better poison type on the roster and better flying type actually.
Yeah, yeah. You like Crobat just doesn't have a role on this team. I'm sorry. Like it's a good mon. It does not it doesn't fit. It just doesn't.
Again, I am a big fan of this regenerator core. I think it's got a lot going for it. In the top half, we just gotta fix up this bottom part because it kind of really does drag me down.
Absolutely.
But we'll move on to number 10, which is Rotom Wash. And I like, again, how it starts. Well, kind of. I like the Darkrai treads a lot. I think Rotom, he picks it a little early in my opinion, and it kind of shows that we picked a Rotom in round 3. But he's here. He's great value. I won't disrespect that. Slowking's a beast mon. Again, he gets teleport access, and he has Chili already. So if you don't want the weather, you don't need to go it. Mega Venusaur is great defensively. I don't think it's going to do much offensively, which doesn't really need to because there are any other pieces around it, but Weavile and an Amorous and Annihilate, like, what's the vision with them? Like, we have Weavile speed tier is unnecessary. Him being a dark type is unnecessary. So I presume he's here to Pursuit Trap. We don't struggle with the ghost or psychic types because we have Annihilate Darkrai. Enamorous is fine. I think it kind of gets its toes stepped on by the Weavile who normally would be scarfing for it. And I personally don't think Knive's that good of a Mon. But out of all the pieces here, I think it's the most fitting of those.
Yeah, I think the other, Annihilate is just really, really good as if you're going to actually try to play a hazard game in NATDEX, Annihilate's just a great option to have because it's a spin blocker and a defog blocker because of Defiant. And I think just having a fairy type on your roster is just always going to be good in some way or another just because there are so many strong dragon types out there. So again, not terrible. The Weavile is really the piece that sticks out to me as the piece that can probably go away. Also the Gligger. The Gligger is...
What's he doing here?
Why is he here? I mean, he's a silly little guy, and I'm not gonna like bash on him, but like, what's he doing here?
We don't need the ground type. We don't need the rocks. We don't need the poison immunity. What do we need him for?
Yeah, it just seems like we kind of just chose a low tier Pokemon and just slapped him in there, which I don't think you need to do in NATDEX. I think there's so many different options out there that you can definitely find something more optimal. Because like you said, you don't need a flyer, you don't need a ground type, you don't need a rocker, you don't need a poison immunity. Like there's nothing he does. I mean, I guess if you just want to slap an Eviolite on him and just have him be a nuisance, but even that's like, come on, what are we doing?
I just don't see the vision with it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But anyway, we'll move on. Number 9, the Fools. Another Mega Greninja team. Very, very good as a breaker here. And we have a kind of another good hazard control, like slow tempo type of team. If Victini's gonna put in a lot of work offensively, which it usually does, it's got a lot of different. It's got nice stab, nice coverage. But even with the Zapdos being immune to ground, our ground defense is really, really bad.
Real suspect.
It's really bad.
I also have to say I'm not a fan of the Petulant plus Lamora combination here. Our dark type is Greninja, and we have our Balava, I guess. But we don't have a dark type to support this guy. Not to mention our ground immunity is Zapdos, which is great. But then we have our Bombi, who I learned the hard way is not a good ground resist, guys. It's not.
No.
And then our Balava, who can do the job with the grassy terrain. And it has a niche in that regard. It's not like it's the worst thing ever. But we have a sticky web team that can't punish defog, which is the easiest way to get rid of it. And I don't know. I'm not a big believer in Glamora on this squad. I feel like we're just asking to get earthquaked into the next generation with 1, 2, 3, 4 weaknesses right in a row, especially with some of our more important pieces.
Yeah, it's really a tough sell for me because you also have a poison type in Pecharunt already.
Yeah.
So like you're doubling down on the poison, which you don't really need to do. It's tough. It's tough here. And outside of, honestly, just Greninja, if there's a bulky ground type...
We're cooked.
Yeah, you're fried.
With our Balava and Greninja.
Yeah, it's literally on just those two, and our Balava's not very fast, so if it needs to take at least 2 hits before it's actually going to be able to do anything into any sort of ground type. So, like a great Tusk, I think, will eat this team alive. Iron Treads would eat this team alive. Like, it's a tough time.
Certainly not easy.
So, not a...
Again,
but still some good pieces.
We could shuffle this to be better.
Pieces.
Like, get a little bit better of matchups of the ground types. Get rid of the redundancies of typing, and I think we're chill.
Absolutely.
Moving on, we got the Mile City Burger King, who is believe it or not, our second electric train team. There is another one on this list. This one got the way better pieces for the electric train in my opinion, with the exception of our setter. But Valiant Bundle is a great offensive core, especially with an Ogre Pawn next to it. And this Mega Raichu Y, sorry, X, excuse me, this is the X. He's literally in an X shape. He's going to be very powerful here. I like this team slightly more before this Obstagoon switch. I'll be brave.
Yeah, I think the Obstagoon is... It doesn't help, which I guess is my biggest gripe. But you mentioned it already. The offensive profile of this team is absolutely nasty.
The problem, The problem I have with this Obstagoon is we got rid of our Grounded Poison, who was also a Dark type, and Drapion for him, and I think that's just worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you need the normal typing. I don't think you're not particularly like Ghost Weak at all.
You don't need the
outside
offensive power from him either. Like, not like Drapion isn't a great shooter anyway. He gets Swords Dance. Like, I had this team as an A before, and then we switched that out as I was like putting the slideshow together. I'm like, not a fan.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit better with the Drapion to be. I'm in the same boat as you, where I just think it's just a better Mon in general. But for this team specifically, it made a lot more sense. But also, offensively, you've already mentioned the firepower of our two electric terrain abusers. You've got good defensive, like, linchpins with Blastoise and Gliscor. But they're going to have to put in a lot of work in order to, on a week-to-week basis to make sure this team thrives.
Yeah, I think it's covered decently well. It's just going to be a lot about getting the turns right, which is obviously half of Pokemon anyway, so it's not like it's a big criticism, but I think it's still a very good team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just call Drapion back up. Say, hey, baby, it wasn't you, it was me. Come back. Me.
Please, this Obstagoon guy is a freak. I don't want him.
This Obstagoon guy is a freak.
He won't put his tongue away. Like, please come save me, Like...
He's got... giving me nightmares. Giving me nightmares. Absolute demon mode. Anyway, number 7, we're on to Belly Bolt Blitzkrieg with another Mega Gallade Enjoyer.
With Tapu Fini.
Yeah.
These guys read the Smogon page.
They read the Smogon page, boys. Mega Gallade, Tapu Fini, you're already in a good spot. The only real issue I had with this is there's a lot of really good defensive pieces, but you don't have a ton of great offensive firepower outside of the Gallade that is going to be reliable week to week. Crocodile's nice, Volcarona's nice, Iron Crown's nice, but they're not at a level high enough to kind of match what Gallade is going to need.
Yeah.
I like the Torn a lot, though. I think Torn makes a lot of sense as just like a defensive piece for this team.
I like him. Yeah. But like we saw with Boss Mouse team in the Cabana, we had a Aegislash Hydreigon to break for our Gallade. Those guys are very powerful. We have Iron Crown Crocodile, who are strong, but they're just not at that same level, if that makes any sense. Like, we just don't have enough, in my opinion. And we kind of instead went for a more, like, bulky Chungus defensive route, which is, like, okay, I guess, because Glade is always the win condition, but it feels like it's going to be harder to harder to activate our I'm going to click Agility and win the game, or I'm going to click Bulk Up once and win the game, if we're not being able to force as much pressure onto his checks. Like, Screamtail is going to give us a hard time, because if Crown switches into it, and we get T-Waved on it, or if we switch, like, Screamtail has very, very, for worst case scenario, and Crown gets paralyzed, now it can't really threaten anything. It's going to die. Screamtail can wish back up on Gallade, because Gallade does, at most, even at +2, like, 50 to Fizz Death's Screamtail. It's really gross. Like, it's
a tough time
to deal with. But
yeah, I think the offensive profile is really putting a lot of weight on Crocodile getting a Moxie boost, or Iron Crown just getting a free turn for either agility or like a Calm Mind. Like, you're way more reliant on certain conditions to win with the way that you have your supplementary offense built up, which is fine, but lot less reliable as a way of getting to the victory screen, which is fine. If you want to go slow, go slow, but it won't always work out.
Yeah, I just feel like it's when I think of Galata, I think of hard offense, and this doesn't strike me as hard offense. It strikes me as like bulky offense at best. But we'll move on to Marsupial Mob, who is our number 6 team, and believe it or not, this is the only division of the two that drafted Mega Floette, if I remember correctly. Which kind of surprises me, because that one's a beast. Like, I wish I was in the other division, and I could pick up the Mega Floette right now. You know what I mean?
That thing is a freak.
That guy's awesome. But this team supports it extremely well between Blow King and Heatran. Like, woo! That thing is never gonna die. If we're playing this right, never gonna die.
Absolutely
we do have a bit of an ice problem on the team, which is not really... Our defensive core is kind of ice weak, with the exception of those two guys covering Floette. So they have a lot on their plates, which is cool. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they're fat chuds. They can carry a plate or two.
They definitely can, especially with their generator on Slow King. I just don't like these bottom two. What are we... I'm not even a big Empoleon fan, I'll be honest. We don't need the defog. We have 2 amazing defoggers. We already have an amazing 4x ice resistance, and we have a Glow King. Why is this guy here? Again, we're back. Sorry, we're back. Fire, water, grass core that doesn't need to be here. Yeah,
exactly. And they're all starters too. Like, holy crap.
Aura.
The controversial fire.
Oh my god, wait, there's a double fire. I was like, there's not all stars, there's Heatran. There's a Cinderace up there. Whoa.
Yeah. Chills.
But yeah, I definitely think these bottom 3 can get shuffled around to give us like maybe a little more offense, like another big blaster.
Get Superior out of there, bro.
We only have Cinderace and Floette the blast, really. Heatran can, but he has a lot of defensive roles. And again, Landorus can, but he has a lot of defensive roles. Manabus kind of alleviates it, but we get like a nice water breaker here.
Yeah, I think
guy that breaks water is Asterisk, not a water type breaker. Yeah. Yeah,
you need. I think if you're going to go for a grass type, you need one that's got way more offensive juice right out of the gate. Like Superior's cute, but it needs a little bit of time to actually get off the ground. And I think if you just get something that has, some strength right out of the gate, it's going to be way more valuable for you. The Empoleon, I think you could also optimize a touch more. Arctozolt, it exists. I liked it better when it was. I liked Satitan better as like a potential like random slush rush. Yeah. But I mean, you've got Ice and Electric Stab, which is good, but I think you're just better off.
That guy's not breaking our water types for us.
No, not at all. Not at all. We move on.
A lot of great things. Last thing I had to say, because the double fire core to break for the Floette Steel type matchup, beautiful. Chef's kiss, love that.
Yes. A lot of very good stuff on here. There's just the 3 on the bottom, just like we'll figure that out. Number 5. This is my squad. This is the Certified Boogeymen. I'm not gonna do too much talking about it because like I don't want to self-glaze too much. Thought process was just very simple. The combinations Aurora Celesteela I just think is very, very potent. I like having Kyurem on this team as well with the Ogre Pond. There's a lot of just the offensive potency here is just, and I'm like Cards. I needed my little mega guy that just magic bounces and doesn't do a whole lot else.
Yeah, that's my biggest criticism is that we just have one little mega guy, and Mega Sable at least Mega Clayable has the offensive presence it needs to if it really gotta be that guy. Sableye doesn't. Like, when is that guy ever gonna pick up the gloves himself and get his hands dirty? Like, what are we doing here? Not that you really need it because you do have Zero Aura, Kyurem, Blaziken, and Ogerpon. Not a big Blaziken guy in NATDEX, but I can see the vision behind it. It just kind of like feels bad that I don't have a strong secondary Mega in case Sableye looks bad, because then you just don't have a Mega, right? Like, unless your Mega is like one of those premier guys that can come every week, you probably should have a second one in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess my philosophy on Megas is just if I think in NATDEX, as long as you have enough good, like there's enough good mons out there that are strong enough without having to Mega. Like Zorora, I think is one of those mons that I think is just insanely good. One, because it's almost always going to be the fastest mon on the field. It's got Volt Absorb. It actually hits pretty hard. Celesteela has just a ton of defensive versatility and can actually be an offensive threat too. I think if you've got enough good mons, like you don't necessarily have to Mega. Mega's not a necessity.
I understand that, but there's not much more I can say about it. The team is still good. I just have a slight gripe. That's a personal philosophy difference. Not much you can do about that one, guys. We'll move on to number 4, which is Explorers Guild. This is our second electric terrain team. It only has one abuser. Kind of tough world we live in that we got Bundle and Valiant taken from us. It's all good. We got the Coco. We got the Moth at least. This is a blaster team. They're just going to click buttons and kill everybody they possibly can. Like, then we have Shuckle for the vibes.
And then Shuckle's there, yeah.
I think it's a very strong offensive team. It's going to be very win fast or die, which is fine in my opinion. I think it's a fine way to play the game. I prefer it more often than not until I get to my Jeremy Slop shit. But
yeah,
fun fact about this team, there are 0 overlapping types. 0!
That's pretty chill.
He has every single type in the game. Check it yourself.
That's actually dope. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Fire.
Every single type of the game is on this team.
That's awesome. Yeah, no overlap. Yeah, no overlap, obviously. I think you got... Obviously, Iron Val and Bundle are gone, but I think Iron Moth is equally as scary at times on a given week. Like, this thing has really good coverage and really good stab options, so pairing it with Coco I think is really great. There's a lot to love about the top, like, games are going to be done within like 15 rounds. Like, this is like, games are not...
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if this game goes over like 20 turns. I'll be frank. Seems like
I like Shuckle to just come in and just...
Sorry, you DC'd. That's why I was like talking. I was like, where'd he go? He's gone again, chat. We lost him again. Oh, Nave, we miss you. Come back from the great beyond. I'm gonna kind of vibe with it and hope he doesn't talk over me in a stutter. So he'll return to us one of these days. Shuckle does look great defensively. Frostlass is kind of just here to be a bit of a ghost type, which is not really going to spin block for us. It's going to kind of click Shadow Ball when we need it to. Low Pony is a beast. Cortana is one of the best scarfers in the format, obviously. Are you back?
So much to love.
Oh, he's back!
So much to love. Am I?
Yeah, you were like DCing earlier. You're good.
Oh, was I? No!
Yeah, I heard nothing about it. All I heard was like Shuckle, and that's it. I'm like, oh no.
Uh-oh. My bad.
It's all good.
Alright. All good. Alright, moving on. Top 3. We're getting into the creme de la creme. 5 turns in Trick Room, and it is not a Trick Room team.
Meowscarada can click it.
Meowscarada can... We've seen Meowscarada click it, guys. But yeah, like, this is not one that we normally see from Lexus. Like, very fast Meowscarada, very good mon, tons of speed with D-speed. The Mega Raichu Y, that thing is terrifying. And you've got, like, really good... The biggest thing is you've got really good defensive linchpins to kind of keep everything together. You've got the Weezing Galar, you've got the Corviknight, you've got Sandaconda, which is a very, very solid, low-budget ground type. Gengar has both our grounded poison and our ghost type. Lots of value there, plus he's nice and fast. There's just a lot to like here.
The problem I have is, which I think is why I didn't push it any higher than I did, is because we're too fast, if that makes any sense. Like, the onus is now on us to be the fast guy that's speed creeping. Otherwise, we're at risk of being outsped and killed. We don't expect to be. And, frankly, It's only slightly a problem because Urshifu and Raichu are going to break through these bulky guys like it's nothing. Like, literally like they're paper. So I don't think it's that big of an issue, which is why I didn't criticize it too hard.
No.
Loki, I'm going to click Trick Room on this team, and they have to survive 5 turns of Trick Room.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna, like, I would not be shocked if there was a couple Trick Rooms clicked into him over the course of the season. But like I said, he's got enough defensive pieces where I think it's just gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's
and
got
the
enough
best Volt Turn in the game. Like, Raichu and Meowscarada, I don't think gets much better Volt Turn than that.
No, I don't think there's really any. Not that I can think of off rip. But yeah, like, tons good to say about it. I would be terrified I'm terrified to face his team. Going on to number 2, the Distortion World Disciples. Yeah.
Jarvis, there's no Melmetal to switch in.
Guys, Melmetal's killing whatever comes in on it.
And even if he doesn't kill it, you're now Battle Bond fodder. That's the biggest problem I see with this team. Like, defensively, is like, okay, we can answer the Aerodactyl, we can answer the Garchomp, we can answer the Melmetal. But then Greninja's gonna come in and be like, yeah, free kill. And now we're falling apart immediately. The Pursuit Trapper in Aerodactyl is elite. It can't get much better than that. It's also extremely fast. It's our fastest Mon, I believe. And we also still have access to Battle Bond Greninja, which I think is awesome. Ogerpon Seal is kind of fraudulent without Terra. I understand that to an extent. But it's a great spiker, and it will still break those water types for us, which we do struggle to break. So it has a role here. And again, our defensive core is good. I don't like Tentacruel. You gotta go, buddy. But we needed a spinner somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's worse spinners in the world than Tentacruel. But, you know, you've got a nice, specially defensive water type and poison type. Like, I can't be that mad at it. And like you said, Ogerpon, I know. Big Tentacruel. Tentacruel's #1 hater. It's fine. And then, like you said, Ogerpon without Terra, not like crazy, but it is very versatile because it doesn't have its item slot taken out, so it can do a lot of different stuff. And
honestly, it has a niche too.
Yeah, I think Miltank, Miss Magius too are also just great value pieces that are going to be very good at the job that they are brought on this team to do.
Definitely.
Like, this is one where it's like all 9 pieces are viable on any given week, and I love that. I love that in NATDEX.
Yeah, what more do you need? You know what I mean?
Yeah. What we need, I think we need to glaze our resident #1.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We need to glaze Shark.
It's me, baby.
It's me, baby. And I'm like, I can't really think of another. This is just Jeremy Slop again.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yes,
I'm low-key LARPing Davin right now because I took the Lamola Tropico score he so dreamed of with the Roaring Moon. Yeah. And then I just slapped the Golden Go Nidoking and Skarmory on there and say, yep, I'm bulky. Good luck killing my Medicham and Roaring Moon.
Alomomola, so dreamy.
Lamon's a beast. I would draft it at 17 points.
Yeah, I know. You just love that fish, bro. Also, the only Mega Medicham that got drafted, which I thought was a little interesting. I do think that Mega Medicham is kind of undervalued at times. It does just hit like an absolute truck. And it's got really good, psychic fighting stabs, just very, very nice. If you want to play slow, you can play slow. If you want to play fast, you can play fast. Tinkatink has like a nice little, like literally just discount Tinkaton.
That guy's valuable.
Actually very valuable. Zygarde 10%, again, also very valuable. I think that's kind of like what pushes it over the edge for me is like the low tier mons aren't just like, okay, they are good in their specific role. Like they are very, very good value for a very low cost. And you're not really sacrificing a ton of firepower.
I mean, like everyone on this team except for Alomomola and Skarmory are shooters, which is what I kind of wanted to go for. Even if they're bulky, they are still shooters. And like, I'm a huge Mega Glade guy. Everyone knows that. It's in the logo. It's in the name. So when I couldn't get it this time, I'm like, alright, I'm taking the guy that hits harder than Mega Gallade. And that's Medicham. It's the only Mon that does, I believe, next to maybe Mega Me. But that guy's banned, so...
Yeah. No, that thing is... I remember playing with Mega Medicham in Gen 7 ladder, and that thing just... That did... You'd click like Fake Out, and it would do like 60% to certain Mons, and I was like, holy crap.
Really, its only downside is that it's not fast, and it can't boost its speed, but like... That's what a Loma Mola's here for, is to get us in. Get us in to click the button.
Yeah. Like, there's very few Mons that are going to be better at doing that than Mola setting this thing up.
Oh, yeah.
But that's enough Glaze.
It is.
We
can let it go.
Yeah. That is the end of NATDEX.
Thank you guys for sticking it out with us, and good luck in the season. We'll probably be back around mid-season at the latest to talk about how things are shaping out. Expect write-ups in the weekly. We'll get to it. And have a good one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz. You're supposed to do it at the beginning of the video, but guess what? I did it at the end. Sue me. Later, guys.
Oopsies. Later.